right. Welcome back to Focus Today, and great to have with us, especially at the beginning of a new year, a new month, our good friend, Dr. Paul Zieber-Kreitz. Look at that shirt. Wow. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, look, straight lines make you look thinner.
Is that it? My production staff wanted me to ask you for a new updated picture that we use when we promote you, because the one we have is your high school picture, and it doesn't really match up.
I'll make sure that I email one out.
How you doing, Paul? Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year to all of you and all the staff there. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of you guys and the way you consistently put out a quality product for the kingdom of God. There's so many stations I interact with around the United States and literally around the world, and you guys consistently receive rewards from your peers, and I'm just honored to be a part of your team. I feel like I'm a part of you guys.
You are. You're a staple. You're like peanut butter. You're a food group. Well, listen, a lot to talk to you about. A lot of folks start the new year with a lot of, resolutions and all the things they're going to do. But one of the things right at the top is budgets and money managing and all of those things. I don't suppose the Bible has anything to say about that, does it?
Well, no. Really, the key to this is very simplistic. And I've got a little bit of it in my book, Money Matters, that, we did that series and so many people have purchased the book. It's a good book if you have it to go back and read it again. And if you don't have it, get a hold of us at paulkreitz.com. But the bottom line is you've got to have a vision for your finances. Without a vision, the people perish. Without your vision, you're going to be, that word perish means cast off restraint. You're going to be in chaos. And if you're listening to us, you're watching us right now, you've got to get a vision of where you want your finances to be. You see, your eyes give you natural sight, but your spirit is what gives you vision. So what has God put into your spirit for this brand new year regarding your finances? Is this time to get out of that credit card debt? Is it time to pay off one of the cars? Is it time to pay off the house? Maybe it's time to set some funds aside for your children's future. I don't know where you're at, but you've got to have a vision, because there's nothing more valuable than a vision. And if you're in a home or a marriage or a business, now listen, and there's more than one vision, that is division. And division is always going to create chaos, Perry.
Wow. I've never looked at it that way, having a vision for your finances. Explain that a little further.
Well, I believe Habakkuk chapter 2, and I don't know what mother named her child Habakkuk, but I'll go with it. Habakkuk chapter 2 says, when you get a vision, when God gives you and the word vision there in Proverbs 29 means a progressive revelation. It's not a one-time deal. If God gave you everything, you wouldn't be able to handle it. So it's always progressive. It's always moving. Habakkuk chapter 2 says, when you get a progressive revelation from God, when you get a vision from God, write it down and make it plain. What is a successful vision? That's the question that you've got to ask yourself when you're talking to your spouse, when you're talking to your children, when you're talking to your employees. What is a successful vision? And here's the answer. It's the one that's easy to understand. Wow. It's the one that's easy to understand. When you make the vision clear and plain, this is what we're going to do. This is what our goals are. Let me just tell you, there are lots of people that have challenges with time management. They have lots of challenges with time management. But the bottom line is this. If you'll get a vision, watch this, Perry, your tomorrow will get so exciting. Your tomorrow will get so exciting, it will pull you out of your today.
I'm processing that. You must be a Steelers fan and you have a vision that someday they're going to win the Super Bowl again. Well,
they have more Super Bowls than anybody. Come on, don't start with me today. I'm telling you, we're in the heat of the battle. We've got our first playoff coming this weekend with the Dolphins.
Know that. I see your sign right behind you. It says Steeler fans welcome.
All others must stay outside.
We'll stay outside. Well, listen, this is really interesting because I think a lot of people just think the finances are a burden, or finances are, the word budget might as well be a four-letter word. I mean, they just ignore it. It's like the plague.
Well, if I could just tell you, you need to take your income and you need to say, all right, I'm going to put 10% off the top for the things of God. That's called the tithe. I'm going to do that. Now, whether you believe in the tithe or you don't believe in the tithe, whether you believe it's old covenant or it was before the old covenant, I'm not here to disagree. I'm telling you, set aside the first fruits of your labor toward the kingdom of God. I believe in seeking first the kingdom of God. So the first thing that comes out of my check goes as my tithe, my sowing of seed to be a blessing to God's house, and to also use offerings to bless God's works, like this radio station, TV station you're watching. Number two, you need to take 10% and you need to set it aside for savings, for future. Do you know, Perry, that the vast majority of Americans do not have a savings account? Most of them are living paycheck to paycheck. And so now you've said, well, Dr. Kreitz, if you want me to take 20% out, how am I going to live? We can't cut back any further. No, I don't want you to cut back. I want you to increase. I want you to create some new income streams. You know, when hard times hit, those that are in the lower economic group depend upon the government. Well, how's the government going to help me? Those in the middle class say, well, I'll pack my lunch. I won't go out. I won't stop at another Starbucks. I'll carpool. They think of ways of saving money. But wealthy people, Perry, when times get tough, they think, how can I make some money during these times? What can I do to capitalize on difficult times? What is needed? I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to create a new concept, a new idea. So what you want to do is to create another stream of income. I have several streams of income that are coming in, and there have been times, Perry, that one of them has dried up. And I thank God that I didn't just have that one stream, or I would be in trouble. But multiple streams of income are an incredible opportunity today.
All right. So your book points out a lot of practical things. Now, let me say to our viewers and listeners, this Money Matters book is phenomenal. In fact, I have driven around town since Paul's been a regular on the Dove here, and I have seen his books on the desk of a lot of people, and a lot of business people who are already successful, but have picked up this book and go, wow, this is so practical. You can go to paulkreitz.com and order it there. But you're very pragmatic in your approach to finances, because sometimes it's just getting people look at it as a hard thing to understand, but it really is pretty simple. The bottom line is, don't spend more than you're taking in. Pretty simple.
Right. And if that is a challenge, I have a son and daughter-in-law and a grandbaby, and they had to really market and shop around for childcare because both of them are working and they're really doing very well. And we tried to take care of a baby, but chasing a 2-year-old is just not right, in my wheelhouse right now. So just having her on the weekends is a great joy. But we have priced daycares that go from $100 a week to $150 a week to $200 a week. There are some people that are spending $800 a month or more for quality daycare service. I'm telling you, someone watching me right now, if you had the opportunity to create a second income stream, you're already home and you could watch a child or an infant that goes down for a 2 or 3 hour nap. I'm telling you, you would be amazed what a blessing you'd be to someone's life, and how you could increase your income.
What's some of the biggest mistakes that people make with money?
They don't respect it. Whatever you respect is being attracted to your life. Someone says, well, I'd love to have more money. Well, I'd love to lose weight. I'd love to, have a jet. But because you love to have something doesn't mean it's going to happen. I loved a little girl in the 2nd grade named Kathy Bloom, and she wouldn't even talk to me. So I've learned that what you love doesn't come back to you, but what you respect. If I respect my health, I'll go work out at the gym. If I respect my finances, I will pay attention. I'll study the entrance. Now watch this. I'll study the entrance and exit of every penny that comes in down to my account. I will know where money is being spent. I'll know if someone took the debit card and drove through McDonald's. How ridiculous. How ridiculous. If you don't have $5 or $7 in your pocket to stop and get a hamburger and a Coke, then you don't need that. I'm telling you today, you've got to get respectful of the entrance and exit of every dollar. People say, God, give me more funds, more money. But the truth is, you need to patch up your boat. There's some leaky places. There's some holes in the boat. And before you set out for sail in 2017, you need to patch your boat.
All right, good advice. Let me take a quick break. Dr. Paul Kreitz is with us. Again, the book, look, you won't read this and then put it on your shelf. My book is marked up. It's a manual. It's a guide. It's a practical thing to come back to. Go to paulkreitz.com and you can order the book there. You'll probably read it through shortly, but then you'll come back and you'll start marking it and highlighting it. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Dr. Kreitz in just a moment. Welcome back to Focus Today, and great to have with us our good friend Dr. Paul Kreitz. And I tell you what, you can go to paulkreitz.com. This is his website. You'll find a lot of things there. He's written all kinds of books. The one that we're talking about today is one of the most practical guides you can probably read as you start a new year. It's called Money Matters, the truth about money that no one is telling you. And it is so pragmatic, you kind of go, duh. I would really encourage you to get a copy of this if you haven't already done so. Just go to paulkreitz.com. Hey, Paul, before we continue on, give us a Covenant University update.
We are just growing. We're leaving in 6 or 7 days, 7 days to do a graduation in our campus in the Bahamas in Nassau. We've got about 37 graduates there, and then we'll have our first graduating class here in June in St. Augustine. Won't be a big group, but maybe a dozen people, 10 or 12, but we've had some transfer-in students. We've had some online students. And so in June, I think about the second week of June, we're doing a little mini conference and a graduation on a Saturday evening. So things are really moving forward. Thank you for asking.
And how do they get more? What's the website?
ncu.education. New Covenant University, ncu.education.
Okay, ncu.education. All right, coming back to Money Matters, there's a feeling in the country that prosperity is coming again. But the fact is that you're still in debt. I would hope that people don't take this good, positive feeling and misplace it and not be responsible for the problems in front of them. What advice would you have for them?
Well, I have been praying. In fact, I took my public speaking, my speaking in the church, and all the things I've been doing off in December. Been working on a couple of new books, and I feel like I really got a word from the Lord for 2017. Kind of 3 words or 4 words. Number 1 was the word order. Number 2, opportunity. Number 3 was open doors, and number 4 was outpouring. I know they all start with an O. God speaks to me that way. He's homiletical. I'm not. So, but he told me the word order. And as I began to think about that, you've got to get your life in order. Remember the story of the widow when they were taking her sons away into slavery because of the indebtedness of her life? And her husband had died and he had worked for the prophet. She went to talk to the prophet and he said, "What do you have in the house?" And she said, "Just a little oil." And he said, "Go get vessels." And so the boys went and gathered vessels and he put them in order. He set them in order. And then he began to pour out the oil. He began to pour out the oil. And as he poured out the oil, it flowed into the vessels. She was able to pay off all of her debt and have enough left over to live on the rest. Now, if you want to see God bless your life, you've got to bring order to your life. You've got to bring some order and structure to your life. When we say order today, there's a group of people that says, "I want a Big Mac and fries." They don't know what order is. So you really need to focus in on order. And when order comes, you have opportunity. Opportunities lead to experiences. Then experiences will create open doors in your life, open doors like you've never seen before. And then what happens? There comes a place of outpouring of God's Spirit, outpouring of God's love, outpouring of God's blessing and provision upon your life like you've never seen before. So someone watching me today, you said, oh, I want the outpouring. Oh, Dr. Kreitz, I'm looking for the open door. Oh, I hope I can have an opportunity. The first thing you need to do before any of those things is to get order into your life.
You know, I'm kind of a business book junkie. I like reading them. And every one of them starts with the word order.
Yep. That's correct.
And if you walk into a business and you don't see order, you might as well just turn around and go out.
Oh, if you walk into a home and you don't see order, if you walk into a school and you don't see order, if you walk into a church and you don't see order, I want to tell you there's no opportunity. There's limited open doors, limited experiences, and very little outpouring. And people scratch their head every year, Perry, and say, I don't know how this happened to me. We did the things, we prayed, we did this, we did that. Well, you can pray all the time, but sometimes a decision is required. Decisions determine destiny. Decisions determine destiny. Make a decision today. Pull the trigger and bring order into your life. Sit down with your spouse and say, what is our financial vision for this year? What do we want to accomplish this year? What our vision is going to create our goals, and our goals are going to create what our time management, our priorities are.
I'm out of time. I wish I had you for another hour. Let me say to our viewers and listeners real quick, go to paulkreitz.com, order the book Money Matters. I want to come back and I want to do a couple of shows with you on order, because it also requires discipline, but that's another word. Hey, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's, buddy.
Happy New Year.
God bless. Talk soon. See you next time on Focus Today.
Bye.